Она замерзает.
The legendary Pablo Escobar served as the head of a vast criminal empire. He also achieved the Forbes wealthy list 7 times in a row, like any other top-tier CEO running a multi-billion-dollar empire. But how rich exactly was he? Does it stand to reason that he had a specially made prison? Here are some key details on the Colombian drug lord known as the King of Cocaine. Number 1. Pablo Escobar. On December 1, 1949, Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria was born in Rio Negro, Colombia. Escobar, the third of his family's 7 children, was born to teacher Hilda de los Dolores Gaviria Barrio and farmer Abel de Jesus Dari Escobar Echeverri. He was raised in Medellin, where it's believed he began his criminal life as a young man. He is accused of selling fake degrees as well as gravestones to local muggers for resale. Escobar briefly attended Autónoma Latinoamericana University, but did not complete his studies there. With his companion Oscar Benaláguera, Escobar increased his criminal activity in the early 1970s. They ran little con games and sold illegal goods including bogus lottery tickets and cigarettes. Pablo started the Medellin cartel, a sizable cocaine enterprise, in 1975. He had approximately 20 aircraft, including a Learjet and 6 helicopters, which he used to transport drugs across the United States and between Colombia and Panama. Escobar would purchase cocaine paste in Peru, refine it in a lab, and then smuggle it into the wheels of aircraft. For smuggling the drugs, a pilot may earn up to $500,000 per flight. The Medellin cartel controlled 80% of the cocaine smuggled into the United States by the middle of the 1980s, making over $420 million per week off of the huge demand for cocaine there. Over 15 tons were smuggled in each day by the cartel. One of the top 10 richest persons on the planet, Escobar already had a $30 billion net worth. Although he was being sought after by both the US and Colombian governments at the time, he was nevertheless revered as a hero by Medellin's poorest residents at the height of his criminal career. By portraying himself as a superhero, he was able to get the support of the people of Medellin by constructing homes, supporting youth football teams, establishing sports grounds, and giving money to the community. By acting as lookouts and lying to the police, a lot of people helped Pablo avoid being arrested. Number 2. Personal life. In March 1976, when he was 26 years old, Escobar wed 15-year-old Maria Victoria Henao. The couple eloped covertly because her family disapproved of their romance, as is only natural. Juan Pablo, who subsequently went by Sebastian Mariquin, was one of their sons, while Manuela was one of their daughters. According to reports, Pablo had several relationships during the marriage. Number 3. Pop culture. Countless books, movies, and TV shows have been produced about Pablo Escobar's life and cocaine dealing career. Perhaps most significantly, Netflix's Narcos, which followed the search for Escobar, was released in August 2015. Escobar, American Made, and Blow, a high-budget movie from 2001, were also shown on the big screen. At the time of Pablo's passing, he had 4 hippos. By 2007, there were 16. Cocaine Hippos is a documentary made by National Geographic about them. Number 4. An era of terror. The fame of Pablo eventually led to a reign of terror in his own Colombia. In 1982, Escobar was chosen to serve in Colombia's Congress, but he was unable to conceal his incredible riches or the source of them. 2 years later, he was made to resign, and the judge who had made his past known was later killed. Pablo Escobar vented his rage at his political rivals after realizing his dream of becoming Colombia's president would not come true. He was accountable for the murders of thousands of politicians, journalists, civil officials, and innocent bystanders. Number 5. Pablo Escobar has how much money? He was a farmer's son who turned into a minor offender and eventually became the boss of the huge Medellin cartel, which at its peak was bringing 15 tons of cocaine into the United States every single day. Pablo Escobar made huge earnings from the sale of white powder, and it is commonly believed that his net wealth in his heyday was in the range of $25 and $30 billion. The cartel had to spend about $2,500 a month simply on the rubber bands to keep the notes together due to the amount of unlaundered money they had to deal with. Also problematic was storage. The drug lord's brother Roberto would later recall that Pablo was making so much money that each year we would write off 10% of the money because the rats would devour it in storage, or it would be destroyed by water or lost. Number 6. Lots of money. When he was at his most powerful, the Medellin cartel ruled the cocaine trade, making an estimated $420 million a week and elevating its boss to the ranks of the world's richest people. Escobar reportedly had a net worth of $25 billion, so he had enough money to spend, which he did. His extravagant lifestyle featured private jets, opulent residences, and extravagant gatherings. He reportedly offered to pay off his country's $10 billion debt in the late 1980s in exchange for being spared from extradition. In 1992 to 1993, Escobar reportedly torched $2 million to keep his daughter warm while his family was on the run. Number 7. The Jungle King. Around 200 species, including elephants, ostriches, zebras, camels, and giraffes, are called Escobar's private zoo home. On Escobar's cocaine aircraft, many of the species were brought into the nation illegally. The majority of the creatures were moved to zoos after his death in 1993. 4 hippopotamuses, though, were left behind. They quickly reproduced, and by 2016, the population had increased to around 40. Farms have been damaged and villagers have been fearful because of the possibly dangerous animals. To manage the population, officials started castrating male hippos. Number 8. The House of Naples. Escobar owned several opulent residences, but his most famous home was the 7,000-acre estate known as Hacienda Naples, which was situated between Bogota and Medellin and was named after Naples, Italy. It reportedly cost $63 million and featured a soccer field, dinosaur statues, man-made lakes, a bullring, the burned-out ruins of a rival cartel's classic car collection, an airfield, a tennis court, and a zoo. The estate was later stolen by locals and is now a well-liked tourist destination. The entrance gate of the estate is topped by the jet he used on his first heroin run to the United States. Number 9. The Robin Hood. Escobar earned the moniker Robin Hood for his charitable deeds, maybe to gain the favor of regular Colombians. He constructed clinics, sports arenas, and low-income housing. Even local soccer teams were financed by him. When he was chosen to fill an open seat in the Colombian Congress in 1982, it was clear how popular he was with the majority of the population. Unfortunately, he was compelled to retire 2 years later as a result of a campaign to reveal his criminal behavior. The initiative's Minister of Justice was assassinated. Number 10. Pablo Escobar built his prison. In 1991, Escobar's violent antics finally caught up with him, and he was sort of put to prison. Escobar and the Colombian government came to an almost absurd agreement that allowed Escobar to build his own opulent jail complex, complete with a sauna, jacuzzi, and swimming pool with a waterfall. It was known as La Catedral, and it also housed a nightclub that was great for prostitution and buddy gatherings. Football legend Diego Maradona was one of the honorees, and before a party with the most gorgeous girls ever seen in life, he kicked around on the prison's football field. Escobar's alleged involvement in the deaths of several of his employees at La Catedral caused the authorities to lose patience with him. The kingpin escaped his custom prison and became a wanted criminal after it was decided to have him transferred to a typical prison. Number 11. When the king dies. Following his escape, the Colombian government initiated a large manhunt, apparently with assistance from American authorities and competing drug traffickers. On December 2, 1993, Escobar allegedly enjoyed cake, wine, and marijuana as he celebrated his 44th birthday. His refuge at Medellin was found the following day. Escobar and a bodyguard made it to the roof as Colombian forces attacked the building. Escobar was killed by gunfire after a subsequent chase and gunfight. Escobar's suicide, however, has been theorized by several. The drug kingpin has previously stated that he would prefer to have a cemetery in Colombia than a jail cell in the US if he were to be caught. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you liked the video, please comment about what you liked and be sure to subscribe to True Crime for more amazing content.